sandwich these two boards together, and here's the glue that I'll be using for this project. Let me show you the boards. So I'm gonna just scrape the labels off and pick the cutest side to be the top part of the desk. So I don't have the proper rotor, so I'm gonna be using these double-sided foam brush. After doing this project, I know I'm in need of purchasing some good clamps. I kind of like this brand here. It's pretty good. I think I might get more of these, all different sizes. But I think this is all the clamps I own. Before I do anything else with this desktop, I'm gonna have to let this dry for about 24 hours. And tomorrow I'll start working on the base of this. Okay, I got all the weights off and the clamps. It's looking good. It's very heavy duty. So I'm gonna cut this down to size. I'm gonna cut it at 56 inches. Then we're gonna do a little sanding on the sides, on the top. And I have some trim above my head. I'm gonna use this trim on 3 sides. Well, I kind of liked the 100-inch Bora clamp edge. So I went out back to Lowe's and purchased the 48-inch one. Yeah, we got a nice clean cut here. As for this short piece, I'll just use that for another project. Just got back from Lowe's with some 3/4 inch plywood. Before I start making the sides on this desk, I need to take care of something first. Now that I took care of that, I could go back to work. Got my sheet up on my lifetime table. Unfortunately, that's what I gotta work with. Okay, now I have my boards cut at 22 inches wide. Now I need to cut them down to 28 inches long. Here's my pocket hole jig that I'll be using. It's the first time I'm using this jig, so I'll let you know how it works out for me. Okay, let's connect our vacuum. Looks good. For this project, we will be using fabric drawers. So I'm just kind of like lining it up to see how it's going to fit in here, and probably leave at least maybe about 1/4 of an inch of space so it could slide in and out. Let's do this. Got a little too close. Well, it's been several months now. I got really busy with work and other projects, and I had to put this desk project on hold for some time. But happy to say I'm back to it. Let's continue this. So this is where I left off on the last time. This is just there temporary. I have these two sides in where my drawer is going to be. I purchased these Work Glory 90-degree clamps here because I'm always working alone and I just need to get an extra hand here. See how it looks on this side. I couldn't clamp it like I did on the other side because I have a few inches sticking out here. But this clamp here, I purchased this at Harbor Freight. But I'll leave links in the description at the bottom of all these gadgets and new tools that I'm using for this project. Just so you know, there are different ways of doing this, but I don't have the fancy workbench where you have these slide rails and you can just clamp on the center and hold on to your pieces. This is the way I have to do it for now on until I get to that point. Since you last saw the workshop, it's changed a little. I finally got the Wen bandsaw in. Have my oscillating tool there, my scroll. Mail just came in. Yep. I was waiting for these gloves. So these are one of my favorite gloves. I had a pair of these, a few of them already, and I tore them up because I really abused them. But I'll leave a link in the description of these impact gloves. Okay, so I'm gonna get my long clamp on here. And I'm just gonna leave it a little loose for now. What I'm trying to do is get this leg here squared. As you can see, it's not squared. That should be good there. Let's tighten our clamp. Let's check again. Still need a little bit more. Okay, so we're nice and squared here, and we're squared here. Now we're just gonna make our mark. Okay, I have my back piece cut out now. I have all my pieces from this side of the desk ready. So I removed this side so I can glue, and then put the final screws in. We have visitors. Excuse me. We're trying to work here. Okay, here's how it's looking. Here's the back side. It's nice and flush. Now it's time to work on the drawer section. Okay, I got this piece cut in place. It's just glued in right now. I probably went overkill with the pilot holes, but it's okay. I had to switch up drills because I couldn't get the rigid drill in here. And I also have my long clamps just so it doesn't move on me. Alright, it's the next day. Here's how it's looking. Looking good so far. Next step, I'll be making the shelf for here, which is 13 1/4, so I'll be using this square to take that measurement. Okay, I flipped the desk over, and I got a little scared for a second when I saw that this piece here wasn't touching, and it's actually my workbench that has a dip in the center. So I measured it. I'm okay. That I thought I had a huge hiccup there. Next step is I'm going to take the measurements and slide these drawers in on how high and low I want the shelving. I also picked up this pretty cool woodworking ruler here. So you just set to where you want to make your measurement. Like I want it here at 2 inch. And you can go all the way around, and you'll never, you can see here, go right here, same way. You'll never make a mistake. You can adjust it to whatever setting. If you want to be at 6 1/2, just tighten it up. Make your mark at 6 1/2. You can slide it all the way straight down. Make a straight line. Comes with 3 different sizes. Here's the other tool. And they're heavy duty. I have my pocket holes on my shelves now. But before I continue, I think I need to get this edge put on now before I make the mistake and put the shelf where I don't want it. And also, I was watching a YouTuber from 731 Woodworking, and he put a back brace around here, so I might do the same for this side as well. It just seems like the right thing to do. So let me get the ladder and grab my scrap wood that's up there. I routed the edges that I'm going to put here. They came out really good. I'll show you what I used. This old Craftsman router that has the little table with it. These router bits are from Harbor Freight. I've had those bits for quite some time. This was given to me from a buddy of mine that retired. And this, I picked this up at Harbor Freight a few years back. I don't know if they still have this brand. Probably, but I've been using it. It works good. Okay, so I have my edge clamped on to the desk. See the big difference? How more clean of a look it is when you do this. Here's the nail gun I'll be using today. Just a quick tip. Whenever you're nailing, right here, the air pressure shoots right out of there. You always want to make sure that that's not aiming directly towards your face. Always use safety glasses because that pressure is going to head straight for your face. It's not pleasant. Well, there's how my corner's looking good. So the next step is let's get our shelves in here. So I want the pocket holes facing downward, so when you pull out the basket, it's a cleaner look. I have here this Craig drawer slide jig. I'm going to see if I can use it. I'm going to use it to place my shelf in. I'm going to lay the whole desk down because I need to drill my screws into these pocket holes. And I'll only be using these to keep the shelves nice and straight. What I've done is I clamped my jigs in place and I took my measurements 12 3/4. I slid my basket in to make sure that it's the space that I'm looking for. Now what I'm going to do is mark a pencil line on each side, then flip my jigs around, line them up with the line that I drew up. And just so you know, the clamps are sold separately. So I'm going to swap now my A and B. Get it on that line. Now I'll clamp them in place. Now that I have them flipped around, I could take my shelf now, get it in there. Now I can get to my pocket holes. But I'm not done. I have to put another clamp going across. So I have it clamped here now, and I have it clamped at the bottom. Now let's screw it in. Okay, it's screwed in. Now I'm going to repeat the process. Yeah, so this Craig drawer slide jig really did work. I like it. Okay, starting to look like a desk now. I put one of these in just to give you an idea what it's going to look like when both of them are in there. What I did off camera, I was filling in some of these holes from the finished nails. Here's the wood filler I was using. Next step, what I'll be doing is I'm going to place a support on the back side here. Oh, let me get the ladder to get some of this scrap wood down. So I have my brace in. I put the pocket holes on the back side because when you're standing here, if you're standing, you'll be able to see the pocket holes. So therefore, I put those on the back side for the bottom piece only. I have my drawers in, well, my baskets. They're not drawers. Probably in the near future, I'll actually make some drawers. If you can see here, I have the tool for it, still in the box. On the back here, I put some stoppers because these baskets don't reach all the way to the back. That's temporary. I could always unscrew that if I ever put actual drawers here. I'm debating, should I close off this back side or just leave it like that? Not sure yet. Or just put one piece down here like this so they kind of match, but I really don't care. This is going to be facing the wall. So the next step here is I have this where I'm going to drill a hole. So you could put your cup, your mug in there. Just to give you an idea. Like this, when you're on the laptop, there's no accidents if you spill your drink. So this desk is for my daughter, and she wants it on that corner, so that's where it's going. She hasn't decided where the power is gonna go. I was thinking in the center or on the side like this, but we'll decide on that. But those are the next steps. We're gonna drill a hole for this, drill a hole for this. Then I'll take the desk outside, perhaps tomorrow morning, and sand, a light sand everything down, especially the top. Sand this real good, probably with 120 or 200 or something grit. Then I'll tack on my trim. That's for here, the front. I'm getting there, slowly but surely. Okay, next day. I didn't have the right hole saw to make the hole for my cup holder. I only had a 3-inch and a 3.5, and my local Lowe's didn't have the right size that I need. I needed a 3 1/4, so I went ahead and I went on Amazon. I purchased a 3 1/4 and a 4-inch, and Amazon don't play games. Arrived the very next morning. So just got it out of the package. The packing has been through hell and back, but I don't care. As long as my hole saw is brand new, I'm a happy customer. This must have been on their shelf for quite some time. Now here I'm just verifying that I'm going to drill the exact right size hole. And we're on the money. Let's make this hole. I use this tool here to find my center. I hit it with my center punch, because you want to ensure that you have a little bit overhang so your cup holder holds on, like so. Let's make a hole. Nice. And for those of you that want to know a little bit more about this cup holder, it's 3 5/8. It's a jumbo cup holder that you could use on boats, RVs, cars, trucks, poker, pool tables, sofas, and etc. It's nice. Well, I ran into a little problem. I decided to mount my conference recess power strip at the bottom of the desk, not on the top. At first I wanted to mount it on the top back, but then I decided, well, if something spills, it's going to fall into the outlet. We don't want that. So then I decided that I was going to mount it to the back plate of the desk. And this is as far as I could get, because my jigsaw, I can't cut downward. But I have a fix. I went out to the garage and grabbed my oscillating tool with my Wonder Blade. So with the oscillating tool, I'm able now to get into this tight spot. As for the jigsaw, it just doesn't work. So that's why it's always good to have also an oscillating tool in your toolbox. If you haven't seen my videos on the Wonder Blade, I'll leave a link in the description at the bottom. Moment of truth. All right. It fits, girls. Now the next step is to get this desk outside so we can sand it all down. So we're going to hit the top first with 80 grit, then 150, and then 220 will be for the entire thing. Okay, it's time to sand this desk down. Just received my 2-inch desk grommets. I'll be installing 2 of these, and this package also comes with the hole saw. Perfect. The hole saw that my grommets came with barely drilled the holes out. I almost didn't make the second hole. As you can see, I pretty much burned it. I forced it through. But at least I made the 2 holes that I needed. As for these desk grommets, I will have to purchase a 2-inch hole saw to get these to ever be a part of a desk. Just to show you where I'm at now, my holes are drilled for the grommets. My hole is drilled for the cup holder. I have my hole cut out for the outlet. And just show you why I have the overhang. The overhang is for mounting monitors like this. Just to give you a better look, this is why I give it a 2-inch overhang on the back. Here I have a desk lamp that I use when I'm repairing any electronics. Here I mounted it so you could have a somewhat idea. On the back side, I also installed another one on the bottom just to give it better stability. And I think it looks just more uniform. It matches the top shelf as well. Now my next step will be to put my trim on the edges here. Here's my trim already cut out. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these down to size. Okay, so it's built. Here's how the edges look. Looking real good. Next step is let's stain this. First, let's drop our drop cloth here. Now the next 3 steps, we're going to put our wood conditioner, our stain, and our clear protection. And before you pre-stain, you want to make sure that your project is ready. You sand it down, you wiped it off, that it's nice and dry and clean. So we're going to go ahead and pre-stain our entire desk. The goal is that once you start to pre-stain, it is a big project, so we need to jump on it right after with the stain. You can't wait longer than 2 hours because it's just not as effective. So let's go ahead and start pre-staining. I'll be using a rag for this, and also I'll be using a foam brush. Also, here's some advice. If you're using Midwax conditioner, you want to use their stain. Don't go with another stain. This conditioner has been tested with their product, not other products. See how this foam brush could get right in those sharp edges? Okay, we have our pre-stain on, and I wiped everything down with a microcloth. I didn't want to use the white rags that I have
to wipe it down because the white rags are leaving some lint behind. Also, we have some guests today. They wanted to see what I was doing, so here they are. Excuse me, girls. It kind of smells in here. The fumes are pretty strong. I think y'all should come back later. Yes, come back later. Go ahead. So I was trying to do this without a mask, and the fumes started to get to me, so I said it's best I get my mask and put it on. It is a big project, so. I'm not sure if I mentioned, this is a golden pecan. It's a stain that my daughter chose. I'm going to start staining where I first started the precondition. This way, by the time I get to the other side, 15 minutes have already gone by.
Okay, once the stain is on, you wait about 5 to 15 minutes before you start to wipe. Once you wipe your project down, now we gotta wait about 2 hours before we could put our clear. You should wait about 4 hours before you start putting on your clear. Okay, I waited to the next day. It's looking good. Excuse the noise in the background. I have the Serene Life working right now because it is hot in the shop. So we'll be using this mid-wax polyurethane. So I noticed this product, a lot of YouTubers, they shake the can like a maraca, but on the can it clearly says do not shake, to stir. I don't know why I see a lot of people on YouTube that's doing that. Maybe there's a trick or a reason why. If you know why, leave it in the comment. I would just think that by shaking it you'll create a bunch of bubbles that don't need to be there. But on the can, I'll show you right now, it says stir well, never shake can. So I'm gonna just listen to the instructions on the can and go from there. But if you know a reason why I see a lot of people shaking it, let me know. And to apply the polyurethane, we're going to use a brush, not a foam brush. Apparently the foam brush leaves too many bubbles behind because inside the foam brush there is a reservoir. And here's the pack of brushes I picked up. So we'll be using this today. So we're gonna stir this really well. Okay, so you don't wanna soak your brush completely because all we're doing is doing a very thin coat at first. After we apply our very thin coat, we wait 3 to 4 hours in a light sand. Okay, it's the next day, and I'm gonna do a very light sand and then put my second coat. Well, here it goes. The clear has dried. It's looking good. I just wish there was better lighting in this shop, which is on my to-do list. Now that's left is to put all the accessories. Let's get to that. And before we go mounting our new power strip to the desk, we want to ensure that this power strip is working the way it should be working. Because most likely a PC, laptop, very expensive equipment might be getting plugged into this desk. So let's make sure that this is working the way it should be working. Here are the two testers I'll be using today. This is to check the outlets, and this is to check the USB. Also, just in case you want to know, this is a 9-foot cord that this power strip comes with. Let's plug it in. Also, this tester here, I'll leave a link in the description at the bottom. I have made a video on this tester here. This is the transmitter. This style tester also comes with a receiver. So let's just plug it in. Okay, 2 greens, we're good. As you can see here, it shows you the indication that everything's connected and wired right. I also like to check both of them. We're good. Next is our USB. So most likely the top USB on this one will probably have a little bit more current than the bottom one, but that's okay. As long as we're around the 5-volt mark, it's perfectly fine. We just don't want to plug this in and it's at 9 volts, 12 volts, because then you're gonna fry whatever you're gonna plug in here. So let's plug in our tester. 5.4, that's good. Our second one, 4.89, give or take. Now we know our 2 outlets and our 2 USBs are working the way they should be. So now let's install this on the desk. Now I want to get my center punch. Pull it back out. Okay, we want to pre-drill here. Okay, looking good, looking good. So you can see how it looks on the back side. So I'm gonna install these tie mounts just to give it a cleaner look. Just so you know, this tie mount is a kit that I purchased, and it comes with a very sticky adhesive on the back. Also, the kit comes with little screws, so you can screw in 1, 2, and it also comes with your cable ties. It's a nice little kit. I'll leave you a link in the description at the bottom. Let's put it wrong. There you go. Now I would hand tighten these. You don't want to overdo it, because then you'll just mess up the hole that you just pre-drilled, and you don't want to do that. And we'll just tuck in the extra right in there for now. Here's a little view of the back, how it looks. And then from the front now, we don't see no cable hanging. Let's put our cup holder. And next we'll be installing our two grommets. If you don't know how the grommets work, you just push your little tab downward. Now you can stick in your cables through here. If it's a USB or a C cable, it fits through there. If it's a bigger cable, like your cord here, pop this out, run your cable through, take the little tab, push it to the side. There you go. Your cable's in the hole. There you go. And you always want your little tab facing back, to the back of the desk. It's looking good so far. Now here I have some pocket hole plugs. I don't have enough of the same cutter because I really would like to fill all this in the back. They do sell these in wood, and there's a lot more cutters. I've seen them in black. I was thinking of going with black, but for now I'll just use these. They look like kind of like eggshell. I'm not sure. Doesn't look white to me, but I'll probably just use these for now, only on the side right here, because when you're in this angle you'll probably be able to see one pocket hole. Let's just move this out the way for now, and I'll show you how they just pop them in. It's that simple. Yeah, so I'll probably get these maybe in black, or I'll just get the wood ones and just stain them and put the clear on them so it can match the desk. Next step, I'm going to attach these felt pads at the bottom. Let's flip this over and staple them in. Now these felt pads do have an adhesive, but I'm not going to rely on that. These are from the dollar store. But the felt pad is a good quality. But I'm not too sure about the adhesive, so I'm gonna just staple them as I go. If you see on the ends, they kind of like puzzle into each other. And that's what I was going for. I wanted the staple to go further in than the felt pad. Man, I tell you, Amazon don't play. I just received my pocket hole plugs and some wood ones. Came in a lot faster than I thought. On time, too. Nice. So I kind of like it. I mean, it does match the black on the outlet. Let me know in the comments what you think. I could go with these wood ones and just stain them as well, but I kind of like the black. Well, there you have it. I finally finished my daughter's desk. So let me know what you think. I'm happy with it. It was my first one that I built. Took a little time, learned a few new little tricks. But let me know what you think. Leave me some comments, or if you saw something I could do better, or a trick that I don't know about yet. Let me know, because that's what we're here for, to learn. So then I decided that I was going to mount it to the back plate of the desk. And it's still recording. Okay, it's time to sand this table down. Nope, not a table.